Hello and welcome to AZ in the Circle, Arizona Softball Podcast. Right off the bat, we're in season 2. We got a special series. We're going to highlight the 2026 commits. The class of 2026 in Arizona is definitely making some noise, and we have 2 of the premier recruits, commits in the state of Arizona. We have Sienna Caro with Duke, committed to Duke University. Sienna, thank you for coming out here today. And then LSU's Sydnee Williams commit. Hey. So thank you guys for being on the show today.
Thank you.
And we're going to ask you guys 5 questions. We'll get right to it. First of all, let's recap how your summer went. Love to hear about that. We'll start with you, Sienna. What's your best memory, let's say, on the field?
On the field, I would say just winning multiple times. We had a great season overall. Summer was fun. Just the girls were so much fun to be around. Yeah.
Well, I speaking of that, obviously it was fun to win.
Mm-hmm.
We were on the same field, not the same field, but the same ballpark, I believe. And I think you were playing Lady Dukes.
Yeah.
Yes, and I think one of the players on there,
Mm-hmm.
is Coach Marissa's Young's
Yeah.
daughter, right? And then I think what happened?
We were playing her team, and then we were originally losing that game, and then we came back, but I hit a home run off of one of their pitchers, deep center, right in front of her. So that was definitely
In front of Coach Young.
Mm-hmm. That was one of my favorite memories.
One of the last impressions there before
For September 1st, yeah.
For September 1st. That's good. And we'll ask you about that lead up to September 1st, but since you brought it up, what about playing in the summer leading up to September 1st? How did that affect you in terms of, oh man, I got to do great, or I just got to be myself, or how did you manage what you knew had to be an important summer for you?
Mm-hmm. I knew this was like the last little time before September 1st, but I did have to kind of relax and kind of tell myself not to stare at the coaches behind home plate. I just had to play very loosely, and that's just how I played better.
That's good. Yeah, that leads us into another question. When you said playing loosely, playing light, is that how you said it?
Mm-hmm.
Because Sydnee, you mentioned that before we started rolling. Film is that's one of your keys to success, which is one of the questions we're going to ask is you like to
have fun, and I play a lot more freely, and I tend to do a lot better when I'm having more fun and just play relaxed. And yeah, it's just one of my keys to who I am.
And then how long you been with your coach? Because it seems to me, Coach Mathis, that you go to a new team and the coach sees you, having fun and being loose, and they're thinking you're not taking it seriously, but really that's one of your coping mechanisms to calm down and go out there and kick some butt.
Yeah. So me and Corey's relationship is pretty funny. We like to joke around with each other, and he just knows how I play, and that his little sarcastic comments here and there will actually fire me up and get me going.
Okay, good. So it's because you guys have known each other long enough that he knows,
Mm-hmm.
hey, she is taking it seriously, but this is her coping mechanism to calm down and stuff, focus in, and I think, tell me about your favorite summer memory, because I think something happened in that same game.
Yeah, so I think, honestly, and this might have been the same inning that Sienna hit her home run, I came up and hit a grand slam to go ahead in the game.
Yes. So you guys were trailing a little bit, and then the 2 Arizona, studs, going to Duke and going to LSU, brought the team back.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nice job. Okay, and then second part of the first question is, what about one of your best off-the-field summer memories? Start with you, Sid.
One of my best summer memories off the field was when me, Sienna, and our other teammate Violet all stayed in the same house in Colorado.
Okay.
Yeah, just being around each other literally all day, every day. It's pretty fun.
That's awesome. And then?
Going off that, one of our last games in PGF, we celebrated the seniors at the beach. So we went to one of our teammates, Lauren Putt's house, and we all just ate pizza, played volleyball, celebrated them. It was fun. Fun way to finish the summer.
Because it's PGF and it's Huntington Beach. It's nice and cool. Whether if you're in Alliance, you're inland, super hot, or you're in Indiana, super humid. Okay. No. But PGF, that's a great place to celebrate that. Super. The next thing I wanted to ask, so that's the first question. The next question is, hey, what are you up to this fall? Besides, obviously, the big news. What do you guys, where have you gone to play so far? I know it's wrapping up. We got Dawn Battles coming up. I'm not sure. Are you guys going to that one? Where are you guys going? Pre-Thanksgiving?
Yes.
Okay. So tell me about what's going on this fall? What have you guys been up to?
We started in Texas, right? Started in Texas, and then we went to California, Georgia,
And then came back to Arizona this past weekend
and then we're going to California the next weekend.
for the pre-Thanksgiving.
For pre-Thanksgiving, it's a PGF tournament. And for our listeners or viewers out there, you two are on the same team, Storm Mathis, and you guys actually been teammates since you were tiny.
Yeah.
Like 7.
Hey, I was able to get some pictures, from someone very special in your life that sent us pictures of when you guys were just tiny ones. So, Casey, make sure you post those pictures up here somewhere so they can see that. And then last week, they had Ramsey from Tennessee Mojo. He had his first Veterans Day NIT tournament, and you guys were the 18U team. And who won that tournament?
We did.
We did.
Congratulations!
Thank you.
That was a good tournament because we were out in College Station doing the Bombers Invitational. So
We're rebuilding. We lost a few seniors, but everything's starting to really come together now.
yeah, so you guys are rebuilding with a Duke commit and an LSU commit. Yeah, that's tough. I feel so bad. You guys are doing great. Okay, so that's what you're up to this fall. Now, next we're gonna share your recruiting story, and then we'll take a break and listen to Polaris PT, our title sponsor, Brig, and what he's doing for athletes out there. And then when we come back from our break, Sienna, it'd be awesome to hear your story. Okay, so Sydnee, so it's leading up to September 1st, and what's going through your mind? What's Coach Mathis talking to you about? What are you thinking? Do you have a dream school at the time? You have a little list, or what?
So honestly, I had no idea what I was gonna do with the whole recruiting process. Corey and I had kind of come together, and he had told me where my interest is. I had told him what I was looking for, and all I kind of knew is I would love to go out of state, but that wasn't like a priority. But that's kind of where I stood before September 1st.
Okay, and if you had to go in state, you said you had one school in mind.
Yeah.
That's good. And so September 1st rolls around, and LSU calls?
Yes.
And a few other schools?
Yeah.
And then, I think this is a key. Who was their first visit that you took?
LSU.
LSU. Okay, so it helps me decide my next question. How did you decide that LSU would be your first visit? How did that come about?
Honestly, it kind of came spur of the moment because I think they were probably my second call. It was 12:30 in the morning, and they just asked me right then and there.
They asked you right then and there, hey, can you come out?
Yep.
And you're like,
Yep.
sure.
Of course.
Of course. And then did they say then, we want you to come out this weekend or?
Yeah. They're like, we would love to have you on campus this weekend. So it was literally that. I think September 1st was on a Sunday, something like that. It was
Saturday at midnight. It was Sunday morning. Yep.
It was that Thursday I was flying out to Baton Rouge.
Oh, that's awesome. And did they have a home football game that weekend?
Yes, they did.
And was it at nighttime?
Yep.
In Death Valley?
Night game in Death Valley, first game of the season.
That had to be pretty exciting.
It was so fun.
And then what about, just tell me about the visit, like when you first got there, how did it go? And then the game, and when did you meet the players? Because there's a player there from Arizona.
Yep.
Yeah.
So when I first got there, they brought me snacks in a little goodie bag, so that was really fun for me. Love snacks. I got there really late at night, so I didn't do much that night when I got there. Then in the morning, we went and had dinner. Then I met my host, which was Sierra Daniel, which is from here.
Did you actually get to play with her?
No, I missed her by a year.
By a year. So she was your host. She also played on your club team.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep. Then we just kind of did the photo shoot, saw the campus, did everything. Then went to night game in Death Valley the next day, so it's pretty fun.
Yeah. And then anytime during the visit, did you feel like, oh, yeah, I can see myself here?
Yeah, so kind of once the football game was over and I was back in my hotel room, I was just thinking everything over. I was like, wow, I could really see myself being here and being in Baton Rouge, living here, putting on the jersey, playing for LSU softball. And that was kind of just the moment that kind of clicked in my head that, wow, this is somewhere.
Okay, so you finished up your LSU visit. You really loved it. You felt like you had a connection there. Then you had some other visits scheduled. Okay. What was part of the reasoning there is, let me go to these visits and see if I feel the same? Tell me a little bit about that.
I loved all the other visits I went on to, and it was just always something drew me back to LSU.
That's good. You love their other schools' facilities because they're all top-notch, the schools you went to. I'm sure they treated you
Everything
great.
was great on the other ones as well.
And you kept thinking, I feel like LSU. All right. That's one of our topics. I've heard that said a lot. When you know, you know.
Yep.
Okay.
I can agree with that 100%.
Okay. I've been told that, and a lot of the student athletes have said that behind the scenes. So when did you tell LSU? Did you make a phone call? Did they follow up with you? How'd that happen?
So I'd called Coach Beth, and just a few days after my last visit, and just basically called her. We were just talking for a little bit, and then I just told her I'm ready to be an LSU Tiger, and she was really happy. She was actually on her way to like an SEC coaches meeting, so it was pretty cool.
And then she got to go tell everybody at the SEC meeting. Yay!
Yep.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Well, hey, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to go to see what Brig has to say about Polaris PT.
At Polaris PT and Wellness, we believe that movement is medicine. We believe that as an athlete, you should be performing at the highest level. And so we deliver performance-driven solutions to get you back out onto the field faster. So give us a call at 480-808-4995 or reach out to us through our website, www.polarisptphx.com, where movement is medicine.
And we're back. Thank you, Brig and Polaris PT. Thank you, Sydnee, for sharing your story.
Of course.
Yep, we've had, that's 3 questions. We got a total of 5. But I want to ask Sienna about your story. So your recruiting story leading up to September 1st. From what I understand, as soon as Duke could call, they called, right? The clock struck, whatever that strikes, and then the phone rang.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of funny story. You weren't at home, you were on a bus. Tell us.
Well, my story is a little bit different. I knew Duke was always my number one right away. Anytime anyone would have asked me, what's your dream school, it was always Duke without hesitation. But right on September 1st, that night, that Friday, I was at a school football game in Flagstaff, and our school took a bus to Flagstaff, and then we came back, and I was supposed to be home around like 10, but it rained, and then we went into like double overtime or something, so I had to answer a few phones on the bus. But I think that just kind of made an impression. And then, they were the first school that called me, first text.
So you were talking on the bus with them?
No, she texted me right at midnight, and then she was my first call the next morning.
Okay. That's good. And then how did you set up the visit, or did you even have to visit because you had already been there so many times?
That morning we called, and then we scheduled a visit for the next weekend. Not the first weekend, but the next weekend. That's when they had their first football game. And I already gone to like 2 camps, so I already knew like what the campus looked like and everything. But once I went there, just reassurance that's what I wanted.
And then how was the visit with Coach Young? How was the photo shoot? And then when did you tell Coach Young, hey?
I flew out that Thursday, and then on Friday, it was mostly just like meeting with like the trainers and athletic advisors and stuff. And then that Friday we had like a one-on-one meeting, and I told her right away, I said, this is where I want to be. And then she just got super excited, told all the coaches. So then the rest of the visit, I already knew I was committed, which just made it all better. And it's I knew right away that I wanted that to be it. So I was like, might as well say yes now. There's no reason really holding me back at all.
And your parents were with you? How was that? It was just an amazing feeling for it to happen. That's pretty special for it to happen like that.
Yeah. My mom started crying. My Coach Young started crying. It was just an emotional talk, but that's exactly what I wanted.
That's awesome. It's great. And ACC, SEC, I think I don't know if they schedule each other, but sometimes you'll face each other if you go to like a Mary Nutter or the Clearwater tournament or something like that, right?
Yep.
Let alone if you probably see, because both your schools are, they went to the World Series. They've been to the World Series before. You guys are going to play each other probably in the World Series someday. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's that going to go down? All right. Okay, so the next question, we have 2 more questions. Number 4 is knowing what you know now, and I'll expand on that. And the last one is, what are your personal keys to success? And you kind of mentioned yours already. All right, so number 4, knowing what you know now, Sienna, what would you tell a younger Sienna about the college softball recruiting process?
I would tell myself just really have fun. It goes by fast. And the years leading up to it's really worth it. On September 1st, when you see all the schools that are calling, it just makes everything worth it. Everything, all the sacrifices that you face, it just all comes together, and it's just really fun and enjoy it.
It makes me bring up another topic. So all the schools that called.
Mm-hmm.
So some of those, when you said you were going to Duke,
Mm-hmm.
you have to make some phone calls also and say, those are some big girl conversations to have, right?
Yeah, I definitely had to make some hard calls, some hard decisions, but most of the coaches, all the coaches were good about it. Mm-hmm.
Same with you, right? You had to make those conversations. Okay, and then what would you tell your younger self, Sydnee?
Kind of going off what Sienna said is basically just trusting the process of the whole thing. I mean, we started out when we were 7, probably been waiting for this moment our whole lives. We finally accomplished it, but now we just got more work to do.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, and then I heard your personal key to success was keeping it loose, having fun, keeps it going good, keeps that swing in the right motion. Okay, what about your keys to your personal success?
I would say just staying consistent throughout the years, like going to the gym. I started doing like strength and conditioning at like 8, and then I doing weightlifting for years. I also talked to a mental strength coach because I think the mental strength part is super important that a lot of people overlook, and that's something that was really important to me if I was going to do good or not. And there were times where I wanted to quit in little hard moments like that, and that really just made me fall in love with the game again.
Oh, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a typical training, pitching lessons. You used to be a pitcher.
Yeah.
Hitting lessons, but don't you think all that made you a better player anyway?
For sure.
Yeah. And then you're adding a mental strength coach. Oh, that's
Mm-hmm.
great. Yeah. I'm big into that. I'm big into this reading this book, what it takes. It's called Neutral Thinking. So you're not thinking negative, but you're not thinking pie in the sky positive. You're just, okay, this is the situation, this is the moment. It doesn't mean that the next thing I do is going to be what I did in the past. It could be successful right now.
Mm-hmm.
Just owning the fact that whatever happened, and then the very next play is the most important play. So yeah, that's a big part of the game too, mental stuff. Well, great. Well, you guys have been awesome. You guys committed so early in the class of 2026, and I know why, because these are great schools. I mean, it's hard to say no to these great institutions. So we wish you a ton of luck going into your high school season, right? You're going to be your junior.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys go to the same high school or no?
Nope.
You're
Pinnacle.
competitors.
Yeah.
Rival high
SDO,
schools.
Sandra Day O'Connor, and Pinnacle, right?
Yep.
Yes. So we'll look forward to seeing how you guys do this year in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So good luck, because I know you guys will make the playoffs. And thank you guys out there for watching. If you liked what you saw, I know I should say in the front of the show, but I don't. Please subscribe to us, like us, tell your friends about us, share the stories with us, with other people. And remember, AZ in the Circle, Arizona Softball Podcast. We shine a light on talented, hardworking softball players and coaches in and from the 48th state. Thanks for watching.